The legendary trio of Regice, Regirock, and Registeel are returning to Pokemon GO's raid battles during this week. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about which of these three legendaries are actually worth going after, and how you can take each and every single one of them down. Hey, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your week is going really well, and let's get right into it. So, the legendary trio of Regice, Regirock, and Registeel have been somewhat infamous over the years, mainly because they are not that good. I mean, aside from PvP, you're basically never going to be using any of these Pokemon in raid battles because there are even non-legendaries that are going to be much better than any of these Pokemon. I think sometimes people can make the case for either Regirock or Regice, but it's mainly if you do not have any good rock types or ice types in your collection and you want to just use a particular Pokemon that could at least get you by. Yeah, I totally think that is the case for both of these Pokemon, but when it comes to Registeel, it's just not that good when it comes to raids. But when it comes to PvP, that changes things definitely, because Regice and Regirock, they're pretty decent when it comes to the Ultra League. And when it comes to the Master League, yeah, maybe none of them are going to be good, but for the Ultra League and the Great League, you will actually see some uses for these three Pokemon. In particular for Registeel, that is probably one of the best Pokemon for the Great League, at least it used to be. Maybe not necessarily so much anymore, but it's pretty decent. It's going to be useful in some specialty cups, and maybe in the open Great League you're still going to get a couple of wins with this Pokemon. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, raiding for these Pokemon is actually pretty easy. Two of them have pretty much the exact same counters. One of them is a little bit unique, and you will need to change up your raid party in order to take it down. But let's go over the counters for each and every single one of them. Let's start off by talking about Regice. Regice is going to be a pure ice type, which means it's going to be weak against fighting, rock, steel, and fire type attacks. It's only got one resistance, and that's going to be ice type attacks, so obviously avoid bringing any ice types. If you want to get perfect IVs of Regice, you're going to want to look for one that is 1784, and if it's weather boosted, it's going to be 2230. And Regice is only weather boosted by one weather type, and that is snowy weather. If you want to secure the win against Regice, you just need to have a raid party that consists of 4 to 5 trainers, and if you want to challenge yourself, you can duo Regice with just one other trainer. In terms of the best counters, it's pretty straightforward. Just go with Mega Blaziken as your Mega Evolution, and then have Crown Sword Zacian and Crown Sealed Zamazenta. You could also go with Duskmane Necrozma, as well as Resolute Form Keldeo. There's not really any Shadow Pokemon that you need to bring for Regice, but if you happen to have Shadow Metagross, that could actually be a pretty decent counter against Regice. And of course, when it comes to budget counters, go with regular Lucario or Metagross. Those are going to be pretty solid options. Next up, let's get into Regirock. Just like Regice, this is going to be a single type legendary Pokemon, and it is going to be rock, just like the name suggests. In terms of what Regirock is going to be weak against, it's going to be weak against grass type, fighting type, ground type, steel type, and water type attacks. It's also going to be resistant to fire, flying, normal, and poison type attacks. If you want perfect IVs for Regirock, you're going to want to find one that is 1784, and if it's weather boosted, it's going to be 2230. And Regirock is only going to be boosted by partly cloudy weather. If you want to secure the win against Regirock, it's the same as Regice. You just need a raid group that consists of 4 to 5 trainers, and if you want to challenge yourself, you can duo Regirock, just like Regice. And in terms of the counters, you will want to go with Mega Lucario as your Mega Evolution. Do not go with Mega Blaziken, because obviously Regirock is a counter to fire types. But if you have a Mega Blaziken with fighting type attacks, it could be used, but I will say just go with Mega Lucario. And then in terms of the other counters, they're pretty much identical to Regirock. Go with Crown Sword Zacian, Crown Shield Zamazenta, Duskmane Necrozma, as well as Resolute Form Keldeo. And then the budget counters are almost identical as well. Go with regular Lucario as well as Metagross. Alright, and that leaves us with the third Regi Trio Pokemon, and this one is going to be quite unique compared to the other two. It's going to be Registeel, which is going to be a Steel type Pokemon, and that gives it only 3 weaknesses, which is going to be Fire, Fighting, as well as Ground type attacks. And it's going to be resistant to pretty much every other type except for Electric and a few others. Yeah, just go with Fighting types and Fire types and you'll be good to go. Now in terms of perfect IVs, Registeel is going to be 1398, and if it's weather boosted, it's going to be 1748, and it's going to be only weather boosted by snowy weather. And Registeel is going to be a little bit more tougher compared to Regice and Regirock. You're actually going to want to bring at least 5 to 6 trainers in your raid lobby to secure the win. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can potentially duo this raid boss, but it's going to be a lot more difficult compared to Regice and Regirock. So I would say that you should just try to go with as many trainers as possible, because this one is definitely a lot tankier than the other two. And then in terms of the absolute best counters, it's going to be quite different from Regirock and Regice. You're actually going to want to go with either Mega Lucario or Mega Blaziken and have a team that consists of Blacephalon, Shadow Blaziken, as well as Shadow Chandelure, both with fire type attacks. Obviously, you could go with either of the Mega Evolutions, Mega Lucario or Mega Blaziken. You can overlap with either Regirock or Regice raids, but I honestly think Mega Blaziken will be the better option for Registeel raids specifically, because most of the other counters are actually going to be fire types, and you do want to boost up the fire type raid damage, especially if other players are going to be going with Blacephalon. And also in terms of budget counters, basically just go with regular Chandelure if you have those, as well as Lucario, and then for Chandelure, make sure you're going with fire type attacks and not ghost type attacks. Alright, so the common denominator here is using either, Mega Blaziken or Mega Lucario. Mega Lucario is actually a Mega Evolution that you could use for all 3 of them. However, among the 3, I will say probably Registeel is the one you will want to go for, specifically for PvP. Although I think Regirock and Regice could see some uses, but yeah, Registeel is probably the one that most players go after, and if you happen to have a shiny version of Registeel, it's definitely one that players want to trade for, specifically because when it comes to trades, if you do not hit lucky and you just get regular IVs, you actually want to have low attack and high defense and high HP, so that you could use it for the Great League. However, because the catch CP for Registeel is kind of high, it's kind of difficult to get one for PvP, but still, it is definitely one that players are always asking for. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Although I do think that Registeel hasn't been relevant in the Great League for quite some time. I want to say almost several years. But it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. I mean, I use Registeel every now and then in the Great League. It's all right. It does get some wins. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's really all I have to say regarding the Regi Trio. Yeah, they're gonna be in raid battles for the next week, and yeah, you're probably gonna save your raid passes. It's not worth going all out for any of these Pokemon. I mean, save your raid passes for the Mega Finale event. That's going to be at the end of this month. It's probably going to require a lot of raid passes to get some really solid Pokemon. You could probably even use your raid passes for the costume Pikachus that we're getting this week. Yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. Probably just Pokedex entries if you're a new player. If you're looking for the shinies for trades, Registeel is probably the most valuable one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, let me know your thoughts regarding the Regi Trio down below. Is there a particular one that you're going to be going after? Are you going to skip out on raiding this week simply because you do not need any of these Pokemon? Definitely share those thoughts in the comments and let's have a great discussion. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to support my channel, best way you could do that is, of course, hitting the like button for this video. And if you're watching on mobile, make sure you hype up the video and subscribe if you haven't done so yet, so that you could stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Make sure you turn on that notification bell as well. And also take some time and check out the links in the description below. One of them is my Patreon page, and if you join my Patreon, you get a spot on my Pokemon Go friends list. So if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, like with remote raids and the friendship system, go and check out my Patreon. There's also links to my other social media pages like my TikTok. Make sure you go and check those out. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next video.